It started on a rainy Thursday night. The house was quiet except for the ticking of the kitchen clock and the soft static hum of the baby monitor perched beside my bed. My son Aiden had finally gone down after an hour of rocking and lullabies. I lay there, the monitor hissing gently, waiting for sleep to take me. Then I heard it, a voice, faint, distant, like someone speaking through layers of cloth. Not crying, not babbling, speaking. "Let me out." I bolted upright. My heart lurched. For a moment I thought maybe I'd imagined it. Maybe it was just the wind outside. I leaned closer to the monitor, eyes fixed on the tiny green light that flickered with any sound. Silence, then again clearer this time, and unmistakably not Aiden's tiny toddler voice. "Can you hear me?" The voice was low, calm, too calm. I grabbed the monitor and turned the volume all the way up. The screen showed nothing but grainy static. I jumped out of bed and ran down the hall to Aiden's room. He was sleeping, peacefully. A soft snore escaped, his nose as he curled into his blanket. The nightlight glowed softly on his stuffed bear, unmoved on the floor where he'd tossed it earlier. No one else was there, but when I returned to my room, the voice came again. "You shouldn't have moved the mirror." I froze. My eyes flicked to the closet mirror in the hallway, an antique thing passed down from my grandmother. I had moved it just yesterday to make space for a bookshelf. Now the air in the house felt heavier, like something had followed me back into my room. I picked up the monitor again. "Who are you?" I asked out loud, not expecting an answer. The reply came quickly. "Look behind the curtain." I didn't want to, but I did, and I did, and I instantly regretted it. The curtain in question was the long, dusty blue one covering the window beside my bed. There was no reason for anyone to be behind it. The window was locked. The house was secured, and I lived alone with Aiden. Still, my hands shook as I slowly approached. The baby monitor crackled behind me. Step by step, I crossed the room. The hardwood floor creaked beneath me. I reached out and gripped the curtain's edge, my fingers trembling. "Don't," the voice whispered through the monitor. But I'd already begun to pull it back. There was no one there, just the window fogged from the inside, and something else. Pressed against the glass, barely visible through the condensation, was a handprint, small, child-sized. But Aiden was still in his crib, asleep. I backed away slowly, refusing to blink, refusing to turn my back to the window. The voice returned. "He's not alone." My stomach twisted. I grabbed the monitor and bolted to Aiden's room, heart hammering so hard it drowned out everything else. I flung the door open. Aiden was sitting up now, rubbing his eyes. "Mommy?" He mumbled, his voice groggy. I ran to him, scooping him into my arms, holding him tightly. But then I noticed something that made my blood run cold. The crib mobile above his head was spinning. I hadn't wound it in days. Aiden clutched me tighter. "The boy in the mirror was watching me," he whispered. I pulled back, staring at him. "What boy?" He pointed. Not at the mirror in his room. There wasn't one. He pointed toward the hallway, toward the antique mirror I had moved. I saw him in there. He said he wants to come out. The monitor buzzed loudly in my hand, a sudden burst of static, then, "Let me in." This time, it wasn't a whisper, it was a demand. I clutched Aiden tighter, backing slowly out of his room with the monitor still hissing in my hand. My mind raced. How could I stop something I didn't understand? Something I couldn't see? The hallway stretched before us, quiet, except for the soft groan of the old wooden floors and the buzzing of the monitor. The antique mirror stood at the far end, just where I had left it. Tall, heavy, watching. And then it moved. Not the mirror itself, but something inside it. For a split second I saw the reflection shimmer like a ripple in water, and a face emerged. A pale child's face, eyes hollow, mouth unmoving. But the voice came, louder than ever. "Let me in." I turned and ran, out the front door, into the rain. I didn't care that it was nearly midnight. I didn't care that we were barefoot or soaked. I just knew that whatever that thing was, it wasn't Aiden, and it wasn't going to stay in the mirror much longer. We spent the night in the car, parked under a street lamp. Aiden fell asleep against me, clutching his stuffed bear. I didn't sleep. I couldn't. The next morning, I called a local antiques appraiser and asked about the mirror. He came by that afternoon. When he saw it, his face drained of color. "Where did you get this?" he asked. "It was my grandmother's," I said. "Why?" He swallowed. "This piece was part of a pair. The other one was destroyed in a fire almost a century ago. They say children went missing in that house." I didn't let him finish. I told him to take it. I didn't want it sold or cleaned or stored. I wanted it gone. He took it without a word. And just like that, the voice stopped. the baby monitor went quiet. The mirror never came back, but sometimes on rainy nights I still hear soft static echoing from Aiden's room. And I don't use baby monitors anymore, ever.